Top 10 mind control programs hidden from the public. How much control does the government really have over your mind? What if some of the strangest thoughts you've ever had weren't even yours? For decades, shadowy agencies have been accused of experimenting with psychological manipulation, chemical influence, and behavior control, far beyond what the public was ever told. These weren't wild theories born on internet forums. Many of them were real, documented, and, until recently, buried deep within classified files. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll realize just how far certain powers have gone in their quest to control not just actions, but thoughts. And why some of these programs remain hidden in plain sight. Mind control sounds like the plot of a science fiction movie. But what if we told you that governments, intelligence agencies, and military operatives have spent years and millions of dollars studying how to influence the human brain? These experiments weren't just theoretical. They were real. And many were kept secret from the public, sometimes for decades. Today, we're exploring the top 10 mind control programs that were once hidden from the public eye. Some have been declassified. Others are still shrouded in mystery. All of them raise a haunting question. If they could do this then, what are they capable of now? Let's dive in. Number 10. MKUltra, the CIA's infamous mind control program. The top of any list about mind control must be MKUltra. Launched by the CIA in 1953, MKUltra aimed to explore mind control techniques for interrogation, brainwashing, and behavior manipulation. The program involved a range of horrifying experiments: LSD dosing, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, electroshock therapy, and sleep deprivation. What made MKUltra so disturbing was that much of it was done without consent. Victims included prisoners, hospital patients, military personnel, and even everyday citizens. Some were given hallucinogenic drugs and left alone for days. Others were pushed to the edge of sanity, all under the guise of research. It wasn't until the 1970s, after a congressional investigation, that the program was publicly exposed. Even then, many documents had already been destroyed. To this day, we may never know the full extent of what MKUltra did, or how many lives it destroyed. Number 9. Project Artichoke. Before MKUltra, there was this. Before MKUltra, the CIA launched another program known as Project Artichoke. It began in 1951 and was focused on using hypnosis and forced drug addiction to extract information from prisoners and defectors. One of the most alarming questions the project explored was, can we get someone to carry out an assassination against their will? Researchers tested substances like LSD, scopolamine, and mescaline on unwilling participants. They also combined psychological torture techniques with mind-altering drugs to see how far a subject's will could be broken. Artichoke was eventually absorbed into MKUltra. But its foundation showed just how early the US government became obsessed with total psychological control. Number 8. Operation Midnight Climax. The CIA's secret brothel experiments point. One of the most bizarre branches of MKUltra was Operation Midnight Climax. In this covert operation, the CIA set up fake brothels in San Francisco and New York. Sex workers were hired to lure men into these locations, where they were unknowingly drugged with LSD. Behind one-way mirrors, CIA agents observed their behavior, studying how the drugs affected decision-making, vulnerability, and suggestibility, especially in sexual scenarios. The operation had no oversight and ran for nearly a decade. Not only was it unethical, but it also proved that the agency was willing to violate civil rights in the name of psychological experimentation. Number 7. Project Stargate. Psychic spies and remote viewing. In the 1970s, U.S. military and intelligence agencies invested in the idea of psychic phenomena through a program known as Project Stargate. The focus was on remote viewing, the alleged ability to see distant locations or events using only the mind. The program trained individuals, some claiming to be gifted psychics, to mentally visualize and describe locations, people, or objects hidden from their view. What's surprising is that some of the results were considered accurate enough to influence intelligence operations. Project Stargate lasted until 1995, when it was declassified. Although it was officially shut down, the research it produced continues to fuel theories that psychic potential and mind projection are still being studied, just under a different name. Number 6. Operation Bluebird. The origin of behavior control research. Operation Bluebird began in 1950, making it one of the earliest attempts by the CIA to understand mind control. It was a direct response to fears that Soviet or Chinese forces were using brainwashing on prisoners of war. The project investigated methods to manipulate memory, induce amnesia, and control the behavior of both captured spies and foreign agents. Much of the research revolved around interrogation techniques and truth serum development. Bluebird later evolved into Artichoke and then MKUltra. But it laid the groundwork for decades of experimentation and psychological manipulation, most of which was hidden from the public for years. Number 5. Project Monarch, the alleged subproject of MKUltra. While MKUltra is officially documented, Project Monarch remains shrouded in mystery. Many believe it was a secret subprogram focused specifically on trauma-based mind control. According to whistleblowers and conspiracy researchers, Monarch aimed to create mind-controlled slaves through a combination of trauma, dissociation, and programming. Victims were allegedly subjected to severe abuse from childhood, causing their minds to fracture into multiple personalities, each programmed for a specific task, despite the lack of hard evidence. Survivors claiming to be part of Monarch have described eerily similar experiences. Whether fact or fiction, the concept remains one of the most chilling possibilities in the history of covert psychological operations. Number 4. Soviet MKUltra equivalents, the Russian mind control experiments. While the US was running MKUltra, the Soviet Union was also deeply involved in psychological experimentation. The KGB and military scientists reportedly explored the use of radio waves, microwaves, and ultrasound to influence human thoughts and behavior remotely. Declassified Russian documents reveal a long history of psychic warfare programs, including attempts to develop psychotronic weapons, devices that could interfere with brainwaves or emotional states. Some reports claim that Soviet scientists developed ways to induce hallucinations, depression, or confusion at a distance. Although many of these technologies remain speculative, the Cold War era saw both superpowers race to master the art of mind control. Number 3. DARPA's Behavioral Science Division, the new face of mind control. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, is known for developing cutting-edge military technology. But less well-known is its work in behavioral science and neural interface research. DARPA has funded projects involving brain-computer interfaces, memory manipulation, emotion recognition through AI, and even implants that can correct mental disorders by stimulating specific parts of the brain. While these technologies are framed as medical breakthroughs, some experts warn they could easily be repurposed for control. Imagine a future where thoughts can be read, memories altered, or decisions subtly influenced without your knowledge. DARPA insists its research is ethical and transparent. But given the history of covert experiments, many are skeptical. Number 2. British Mind Control Projects. MI6's secret PSYOPS.IT wasn't just the US or Russia. The British intelligence community also explored psychological manipulation through programs largely unknown to the public. MI6 reportedly engaged in early forms of psychological warfare and influence campaigns during the Cold War. Some researchers point to Operation Often and Operation Spellbinder, alleged joint operations between British and American agencies that explored occult practices, behavioral triggers, and even mind-influencing rituals. While official confirmation is scarce, Britain's contribution to psychological warfare, both in terms of media influence and deep state experimentation, suggest a global interest in mastering the human mind. Number 1. Operation Chatter, the U.S. Navy's mind control initiative. Operation Chatter was one of the earliest known U.S. attempts to explore mind control. Launched in the 1940s by the Navy, the program focused on truth serums and drugs that could manipulate memory and extract secrets. Chatter researchers experimented with scopolamine, mescaline, and other psychoactive substances to see how they influenced behavior during interrogations. The goal was to gain absolute control over enemy captives or even friendly agents suspected of betrayal. Though relatively short-lived, Operation Chatter was a direct forerunner to MKUltra. It showed that even before the Cold War escalated, the U.S. military was already exploring how to control the mind. These 10 programs reveal a chilling reality. The desire to control the human mind isn't just the stuff of fiction. It has been a real, persistent goal of powerful organizations for decades. While some of these operations were eventually exposed, many details remain classified. And perhaps more concerning, some may still be active today under new names, new funding, and tighter secrecy. We often think of mind control as a distant concept, something that couldn't possibly affect us. But history proves otherwise. The line between science and manipulation has been crossed many times before, and it could be crossed again. If this video gave you something to think about, hit the like button. And for more content that uncovers the hidden truths of history, psychology, and power, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to uncover. Thanks for watching, and stay aware.